We're at South High School where the Lady Red Wings are getting ready to take on Sheboygan North. Hello everybody, my name is Mike Martin and joining me is Bill Richards, Conference Commissioner for the Fox River Valley. And Coach, it's May 12th, you're all bundled up.
Well, I'll tell you, this is, I guess, typical for Sheboygan, and I'm sure it'll have an influence on the ball game.
Now, they're going to play their second game of the season. South won the first one 3-0 and kind of displays the credits of Andy Pigeon. She's quite a pitcher for South.
Yeah, she really is. She keeps them in every game, and as you know, they lost some real bangers from last year, but she's been able to keep them in there with great pitching, and I'm sure that it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Now, one of the things that I talked to Coach Pigeon during the day, and he said that Andy's been striking out a lot more batters, and she actually calls her own game from the mound. I bet you wish you could have done that when you pitched.
Marty, I did do that. But see, she's right-handed, so that means she's a lot smarter than you and I, and that is an interesting phenomenon. I think it's good. I think even in the big leagues, the coaches play too big a factor in the game.
Now, one of the things, and there was a nice article in the paper, and they kind of highlighted Amy Klein and what she's been doing for North High. Let's talk a little bit about North and Keith Bartholomew's and what he's got going over on that side of town.
Well, they're a much, much better team than their record would indicate, and with just one conference victory. And as you know, Mike, they've been in a lot of games in the 6th and 7th inning, haven't been able to close it, and it's kind of a catch-22. You know, they don't know how to win necessarily, but you know, how do you win except by winning, or how do you learn except by winning?
Now, this is actually a very big game for Sheboygan South. They're a game out of first place, and they're trailing, I believe it's Manitowoc.
Yeah, Manitowoc and Preble's in there, but they both demonstrated that they can be beaten, and with 4 games left in the season now, it's really up for grabs. And as John says, if they win, if South wins out, they got a real shot at it.
Well, South comes in with a very low team batting average. They've only got 3 or 4 kids that are hitting over 200. Andy Pigeon is quite a pitcher for South. I think we're going to have a low-scoring game tonight, Coach.
Yeah, I do too, Mike. You know, they had some 4-year players, Yerk, the catcher, and a couple of Gustafsons, and a great left-handed first baseman, and all those kids are gone now.
We're going to step out. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening pitch for this afternoon's ball game. So stay tuned, everybody.
I love the challenge of computers. Not that I have much time with these little guys and my job, but when my wife went back to school, I thought, why can't I? Certain things in life demand my attention, but a new career in computer science deserves my attention. An evening class at Lakeland doesn't tie my life in knots, thanks to a flexible, easy-to-manage schedule that allows me to balance work, school, and the twins. Evening classes that meet once a week, that's the easy part.
About a year ago, Mark and I thought, air pollution, global warming. How can we make a difference? So Mark modified our car, some sort of homemade energy source.
The best part is the car emits only helium. Genius.
But the EPA says the energy we use in our home can cause twice the greenhouse gases of a car. So now I look for products that are in the Energy Star. Simple.
The EPA invites you to go to EnergyStar.gov to discover what you can do to reduce air pollution.
She had the best medical care. Still, her baby was born 3 months early. And no one knows why. Help the March of Dimes save babies from prematurity. Join Walk America to raise money to fund March of Dimes research. Let's find the answers together.
There's a new experience around every corner as you discover Wisconsin. Discover Wisconsin like you've never seen before.
Plate umpire, and Don Block will be his partner on the bases. The starting lineup for Sheboygan North will be Jenya Shasky. She'll be batting leadoff and playing center field. Amy Klein, we mentioned a little bit about her in the opening. She's having a great year for North. She'll be the shortstop, batting second. Paula Oleg will be out in left field. We remember Paula from last year. She did a little bit of pitching. Kayleen Dawn will be pitching and batting fourth. Heather Bacon is out in right field, batting fifth. Mel Bogenschutz is the designated batter. She'll be batting sixth. Laken Werdio will be the catcher, batting seventh. Batting eighth will be Ali Kopetsky at second base. Batting ninth is Amanda Fabian. She'll be playing over at first base. And Sammy Kopetsky will be over at third. She's the flex player. That means she doesn't get the bat. For South, let's go through there. You see Andy Pigeon. Andy Pigeon will be on the mound pitching. She's a good one. All conference last year. I guess she was most valuable player on their team coach the last 3 years or 2 years. Brittany Mulebrook will be her catcher. So the battery for South will be Pigeon pitching, Mulebrook catching. Over at first is Liz Pfeiffer. Over at second base is Ashley Gare. That's a good position for Ashley. That's where her dad played. Over at third base is Chelsea Archer. Playing shortstop is Erica Gustafson. In the outfield, it'll be Nicole Spiesla in left, Chandra Warren in center, Crystal Crowns in right. Emily Weisman will be the designated hitter for South. And we're just about ready to get her started here this afternoon.
Well, you mentioned Ashley Gare. She's a very good pitcher also, but with a relaxation of pitching requirements, you really have one pitcher now, and she does most of it. And, but Ashley's very, very competent.
Shasky takes that first pitch and fouls it off. Jenya coming into action tonight is hitting .333. She's 16 for 48. Not a bad batting average. Coach.
No, we don't. You and I would have both taken that.
Oh, really? Usually took me 2 seasons to get that high. Rising fastball comes in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes on Shasky. And a strikeout.
It's interesting because you look at that strikeout improvement and maybe it's been a weight room or just being a year older, but certainly she was obviously a very good pitcher last year, but different stats this year. We might get a foul ball tonight, Coach.
Yeah, really. We might also get a bat in the head. We're right next to where the batters or the on-deck hitters warm up. Klein stepping in.
She's a tough target, too.
Yeah, hitting .404 on the season. Has 2 doubles and a triple and 10 RBIs. And a lot of stolen bases.
Runs very well. She's kind of the igniter and does everything well.
You'd kind of think she'd be batting leadoff then.
Well, except maybe just a little more power than they wanted to put in the leadoff spot.
Well, Pigeon took a little something off that pitch and had Klein out in front. Klein is 19 for 19 in stolen base department, but you can't steal first.
Yep.
Called strike, and that's 2 strikeouts for Pigeon. Against Manitowoc Roncalli coach, Pigeon had her career high in strikeouts with 12.
Well, yeah. Roncalli always puts a good ball club out there, too. The Manitowoc area is real good baseball, softball area. She got a little cut on that fastball, too. It runs in a little bit. You get one on the fist today, you won't be anxious.
No. Paula Oleg is up now. Oleg steps in. She's hitting .326 on the year. Has 6 doubles and 8 RBIs.
Well, North's, as we said, North's been in a lot of games all the way to the 5th or 6th inning and just hasn't been able to put teams away.
One thing about pitching and hitting, you can run down a lineup, and North has a lot of 300 hitters, but you run into a top-notch pitcher and it can really shut down that hitting game.
And he throws a lot of pitches around the knees, too, and that makes it doubly tough.
Ball inside just a little bit. Pigeon thought she had Oleg struck out.
She's had two pitches on the inside corner, and if he's not going to call the inside, then she's got to move. He's not going to change.
Oleg hits it on the infield. Gare racing back, and the right fielder comes in and makes the catch.
Excellent catch.
Good running catch made by Crystal Crowns. And at the end of a half inning of play, Sheboygan North nothing, South coming to bat.
Violence. We're stronger than you. You can't hold us back. Violence. We know what it takes to blow past you.
And violence, we're just getting going.
No, we played Tuesday at Camelot, but
I called you yesterday. Well, I'm sure you got that voicemail I left, and I figured, you know, you weren't home, you were golfing, because that was a pretty nice, or 2 days ago.
yeah, I was in Camelot. I'm in Camelot a lot. But,
Camelot?
Gamblesport.
Oh, okay.
Lomira.
Okay.
Nice course. $20 for seniors.
For 18, huh?
Yep, and
It
a
is?
cart. And a cart.
Wow, that is good. Back at South High, and there you see Kayleen Dawn getting ready to pitch to Emily Wiesman. Wiesman is the designated hitter. Coach and I just talking a little bit when the weather was nicer. You were able to get out and do a little bit of golfing.
Yeah, it wasn't a tough decision today, although I'm not sure softball was in there either. But you mentioned that nice catch by Crystal Crowns.
A bunt by Wiesman. Nice play by Fabian over to the second baseman, Kopetsky. And
What do we call a timeout?
I don't know.
Must have been a timeout called just before the pitch. I'm not sure why, unless the ball was over on the
in
practice
play.
ball. Yeah. Emily played a little bit last year, and so that helps. They don't have a lot of game experience, but
Well, Wiesman wanted to bunt that second pitch too, but took it outside.
yeah. So she's just slapping, and if she gets the ball down on the ground toward the hole at short, or even 2/3, she's 4 steps out of the box.
Cheating way up is the third baseman, Sammy Kopetsky. And there's the chapper right back to the mound. Throw over to the second baseman, actually, that time, Allie Kopetsky, making the play.
They played almost like a sacrifice bunt situation. I might mention that Crystal Crowns was one of our award winners, scholarship award winners at the Elks last Thursday night.
That's really a great thing that you guys do over there.
And, excellent girl, excellent young lady. Her grandpa and her dad are sitting down third base there. I'm sure they applauded that nice catch to end the top of the first.
Well, I know anytime, I always applauded my fielders when they made a play behind me. And usually it had to be a great play because the ball was hit so hard.
They had the track shoes on.
Exactly. Andy Pigeon comes into today's game hitting 229.
She's not an easy out. Although she's going to have to get the bat ready.
A little bit quicker, huh?
A little bit quicker. She may be thinking about slapping also.
Pitch tails away. Strike.
Yeah, Kayleen's ball on the outside does dip. And
Dawn comes into today's game with a 3-9 record, a 2.56 ERA.
I'd like to have had that, Marty.
Yeah, really. Pitches up high. She does have 36 strikeouts, 17 walks, and just over 68 innings.
She's an excellent competitor.
And that pitch is outside and high for a ball, and that's ball 4, and that brings up Erica Gustafson.
Another stalwart from last year, and really count on her to help carry the team through the batter's box.
Well, she's a number 3 hitter, and according to these stats, she's hitting 125. Let's see if that was a pass ball or a wild pitch, but Pigeon is down on second base. Gustafson is the shortstop.
Now she's batting left-handed now.
Try to get that runner over to third. Slapping and running and hitting and fouling it off. We have one out. We're in the bottom of the first, no score. Pigeon is on second base. Dawn on the mound for North. Pitch drops in low. Good scoop by Lake and Wordio.
If Andy scores in this inning, will the Pigeons be coming home to roost?
I think so. At least one of them. Slapper to the mound. Dawn makes the pickup and the quick throw over to Fabian for the out. Well, South hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield yet. Chandra Warren is the fourth hitter. She's the center fielder. Chandra steps in, hitting .212.
She played a lot last year.
If I'm reading these stats right. Yep. Need the paper to be a little longer. Pitch is down low for a ball. Makes the count 2-0. Right on cue, Kenny LaCroix sticks those two fingers up because we both missed that first pitch. There's a little tapper to short.
Gonna be close.
Ooh, high throw pulls the first baseman off the bag. And the runner is safe and the run scores and a Pigeon does come home to roost, Coach.
Yeah, that's small ball. They're playing small ball and they got him a run.
Well, and that could be a big run too because Pigeon shut out North the first time around and one run might be enough. Amy Klein making that errant throw from her shortstop position. Chelsea Archer is up for South. I'll find that second sheet. I think she's on the second page of the hitting stats. South on top 1-0. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Important game for South to maintain their status in the conference race. Another bouncer to short, clean pickup by Klein, and she fires over to first for the third out. But at the end of one, Sheboygan South tacks on a run and they lead it 1-0.
There's a place where a total stranger will give you their blood. A place where someone you never knew will save your child from drowning. Where a person who doesn't look like you, talk like you, or dress like you will give you shelter after a flood. That place is called America, where we look out for each other. When you help the American Red Cross, you help America.
Come on, David. Come on, David. Let's go, David. Come on.
Come on, David. You got the love.
Get as involved in your kids' education as in everything they do, and imagine the success they might find. Stay in touch with the teacher. Visit the school. For more tips, call 1-800-281-1313.
Good, David. Good, David.
Oh yeah, there. Leading off the bottom of the top of the second is Kayleen Dawn, the pitcher. Dawn takes that first pitch for a ball.
Andy's definitely quicker this year. That ball's getting up there good.
Line drive out to center field. Racing back was a center fielder making a great one-handed catch.
Chandra Warren.
Chandra Warren. Wow.
She's an excellent fielder and played quite a bit last year. That's a double or probably maybe a triple.
Well, I'll tell you, she got a great jump and stuck her glove out just at the right time. Get her a Snickers bar for that catch, Andy. Heather Bacon is up for North. Heather is playing out in right field. Bacon hitting .259 on the year. Now Bacon's a pretty popular name for softball in Sheboygan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Grandpa was
Elmer Bacon.
Yep.
And we got some raindrops, Coach. Line drive past the shortstop into left field for a base hit. I was listening to the greenhouse, Jonathan Green, on the way over, and he said that clouds were rapidly moving from the southwest to the northeast, and I think they've just arrived.
Yeah, just a little bit, and I'm sure they'll hurry to try to get the game in.
You know, they'll play through this. Well, we announce through this.
Well, that's true. They, there's not a lot of weeks left in the season, and you have to get them in.
Right. Yeah, you can't.
We've been very lucky, though. You know, if it doesn't rain on Tuesday and Thursday, you're all right.
We're in business.
But everybody's playing soccer, tennis, and softball. Conference track meet tonight up at Notre Dame.
Oh, really?
Boys and girls.
Mel Bogenschutz, the catcher, is up, or pardon me, the designated hitter is up. And Bogey goes down on strikes for the second out in the inning. Lakin Werdio, the catcher, is up next. Lakin steps in.
Got good right center field power, if I remember from last year. Can hit the ball quite a ways.
Yeah, she steps in, only hitting .213, but she does have a triple and 2 home runs, and actually leads the team in RBIs with 15. So even though she has a low batting average, she's been productive. I'm glad these papers aren't ours. Brittany Mulebrook is the catcher for South, and Coach Pigeon mentioned this morning she's doing a pretty good job, but she had some big shoes to fill.
Oh, excellent. Your girl played 4 years and was all conference the last 2.
Swing and a miss by Lakin, and that's the third out, and that's the 4th strikeout already by Pigeon. And at the end of an inning and a half, South on top, 1-0.
I thought, wow, this concept might change the way we get from point A to point B. I felt like Einstein inventing the telephone.
What does this mean, Doctor?
Well, it changed life as we know it.
Is your discovery for sale?
Where'd you get the idea?
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the human foot.
The man who's putting us in touch with our feet.
The foot, well, when used with another foot, creates a single passenger transportation system of amazing efficiency. And since your feet are connected to the rest of you, walking not only gets you someplace. This is on a straightaway. Look at that. Cornering. Walking helps keep your bones and joints stronger, longer.
Get up, get out, get moving. A public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Really, we're just covering up the equipment there. You see the fans all bundled up. It's, I was looking on my computer today and checking the weather, and it said 42, feels like 33.
Absolutely.
Sounds a little high.
Absolutely.
On the feels like.
I came to town 41 years ago, and I remember doing some track meets with a pen. And I realized in Sheboygan in May you don't use a pen because the ink runs when it rains and snows. But you're using a pencil.
I'm using a pencil. My hands are cold, though. Crystal Crowns leading it off. The bottom of the second for Sheboygan South. They lead it 1-0. Crystal trying to bunt, pops it up, but it goes foul. Now, if you foul a second,
third
strike, you're out. Okay, right. Just like in regular softball.
Tell me, do you remember Crystal Crowns batting left-handed last year?
No.
She is now.
But now she's over on the right side.
She's on the right side. So they're doing that slap and run.
Until line drive, caught.
Oh, nice catch.
By the third baseman for North, Sammy Kopetsky.
Nice grab. She was up quite a ways, too, looking for that small ball action. That's why they call it the hot corner.
Really? I remember one time, Coach, I pitched it was only a set. Oh, high throw gets past Fabian, and reaching base for South is Nicole Spiesla on an error. I was going to say I pitched a 7-inning shutout when I was playing with Howards Grove, and out of the 21 outs, the third baseman had part in 13 of them.
That's cool. Yeah, that's got to be a record. They were all left-handed batters, and they couldn't pull you.
Hardly.
That was it. I knew that.
Liz Pfeiffer now hitting for South.
Is this Coach Pfeiffer's daughter, Marty?
Yep, it is.
Okay.
Dave, probably around here somewhere watching.
Yeah, I remember seeing him at the games last year.
There's Kayleen Dawn, North High pitcher. Wow.
Really aggressive approach on the bases, and that's good. You want the defensive team to throw that ball around a little bit.
Well, Lakin is experienced and knows to run her back instead of throwing the ball. Although that time she does.
And the right fielder's way up backing it up, which is good. So there wouldn't be an advance on a bad throw.
Right, smart fundamental baseball by Sheboygan North. Pfeiffer fouls that pitch off. South on top 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second. There's one out. Spiesla is on at first. Pfeiffer up.
Ooh, change up.
And they throw down. And tag is applied and out. As Spiesla, and that ends the inning. Pfeiffer struck out. So that putout will go 2-3-6, I believe that was. And at the end of 2 innings of play, South on top 1-0.
Thank you.
Fat and cholesterol, they could ruin your appetite forever. Tonight, make it vegetarian. Visit PCRM.org.
Maybe it's a year of good pitching, too.
Oh, there's the Crowns.
Yep.
And there's the announcers. Boy, are we a good-looking group.
What do you mean cold?
Really? What do you mean cold? All right, get the camera on the game, Andy. Brian Andrews on the first base side. Andy McKillop behind the plate over where we are. Scott Miloff is spinning the dials in the truck, and we're not used to playing at this field, Coach. I wonder what's going on with Wildwood.
Evidently, they're doing some work on the fields, the grounds proper, and it's nice that North can play at North's new place and South can play here. So
I've heard nothing but good things about North's new diamond.
Outstanding job by a lot of people, particularly I think I could say the Dawn family really spearheaded it, and
well, that's really nice. It's always nice to be able to have your own facility and play at your own school instead of having to depend on other places to play.
And driving cars 5, 6, 8 miles every night through traffic.
Right. If nothing else, just for the practice end of it.
Yeah, you're wasting half an hour to 45 minutes. USA Today, Marty, Valder's discus thrower. Nice article on him, USA Today Sports.
Oh, really?
6th all-time discus throw, 215.7.
Wow. That was Ali Kopetsky going down on strikes to lead off the third inning. Amanda Fabian, the first baseman, and the number 9 hitter is up next for North. Amanda hitting 143. Takes that pitch on the outside corner for a strike. One thing, I know Andy's probably filled out since her freshman year, but she still looks pretty lean and mean out there.
Yeah, she does. She does. She's very quick, cat quick out there. And but as you say, a year or two, a little extra strength, and 2 years of maturity, and 3 miles an hour more on that fastball.
Makes a big difference.
Yep.
2 strikes on Fabian. North trailing 1-0. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Straight back.
Certainly gets the ball over the plate. There's she didn't waste many pitches.
Well, she has very few walks and a ton of strikeouts. Let's see if we can find that pitching line. Ground ball to short. And thrown out.
So that was
1-6-3.
Yep.
Well, making a fine throw over there after catching the carom was the shortstop, Erica Gustafson, and Gustafson was a whale of a basketball player, too.
Yeah, she was a good rebounder, good inside player.
Andy Pigeon, coach, has 83 strikeouts to only 9 walks, and that's in 92 innings. So she's averaging a walk about every 10 innings. It doesn't get much better than that. Right through Gustafson. Boy, you're not going to get a much easier ground ball than that.
Well, she almost nonchalanted it. It was easy, and she probably thought that also. Getting back to that discus thrower, he's going to be going to the Golden West Invitational out in California and 2 other big meets. So
now, is that high school only, or is that a combination?
Yeah, no, that's high school only, and that's the 6th furthest toss in the history of high school track.
High school track, not just Wisconsin.
No.
Stolen base by Shasky.
It's a Wisconsin record, but a record can only be broken in the state meet. A kid by the name of Dave Nemeth from Oshkosh threw it 210.
Now, I know this is going way back. You know, we'll remember this name, but Jack Voigt, I think was
Stu Voigt.
Stu Voigt.
I was there in
Jack
Madison.
Voigt was the baseball player for the Brewers for a year or 2, but yeah.
I was in Madison the day he threw it 67 feet 3 times in a row.
That was a shot put?
Yeah, Tim Seifert was second that day at 63-2.
Tim Seifert, a former North High athlete.
Right. And the third guy was Doug Sutherland, who ended up one of the Purple People Eaters in Minnesota.
I remember that name, sure.
From Superior.
Well, Voigt and Sutherland both played for the Vikings.
And Bob Olson from Superior was a captain at Notre Dame and started for the Buffalo Bills.
That name I don't remember.
4 tremendous athletes that day.
Well, Pigeon thought she had another strikeout on Klein, but Kenny LaCroix said it was inside, so South will stay out on the diamond. There's 2 outs. Jenya Shasky, who stole second, is on second. And Klein swings at a pitch up out of the zone. And that ends the 3rd inning for North at the end of 2.5 innings of play. South 1, North nothing.
I like to volunteer for the neighborhood emergency response team to help the firefighters. As you know, I was Fireman of the Year 3 times.
You're Mariano Rivera.
Thank you.
Fireman of the Year is a baseball award.
Yes.
You're not actually a fireman.
No.
Fireman of the Year, huh?
Just a few more minutes.
When you help your neighbors, you help your nation. Make a difference. Volunteer. Learn how at usafreedomcorps.gov.
This is Matt Burke of the Minnesota Vikings. Matt helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting educational programs developed to help kids succeed. Matt went to Harvard.
Where does lightning come from?
Well, first we must understand the nature of atoms. Atoms are made up of positively charged protons and uncharged neutrons. This dynamic is called the electromagnetic force.
Well, doesn't it come from the sky?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Matt Burke. He went to Harvard.
Yeah. Hey, there's a little fan. And is it cold out here? You could never tell by that picture, could you?
Helmets over her eyes.
I don't know. I'd like to get her gloves.
Say, let's have a name that Marquette
a contest for
yes.
TV8.
Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed when he said forget Warriors. That's not even in the equation.
I can't believe that. You know, the definition of Warriors is not specifically at anyone, aimed at anyone.
It's what you want to make it. I mean,
there are only 3 or 4 names left that they haven't tried this month.
Golden Raiders sounds pretty good. I mean, Sheboygan North never had a problem with that.
It's better than the baseball team at Cal State Santa Barbara, the Dirtbags.
Well, you know, they changed Hawaii's nickname from just Rainbows because of that, I guess, has some implications now that it didn't, you know, years ago.
Sure.
So I think they're the Warrior Rainbows now.
Rainbow Warriors, one of the two, yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, you know who the defensive coordinator is for the football team now is Jerry Glanville.
Is that right?
Sure.
There's a guy that's politically correct.
He and June Jones are longtime buddies.
I remember seeing one of those highlight football shows, and he's yelling at the official, and he says, "You know what NFL stands for the way you're calling them? Not for long."
Yeah.
Going down on strikes was Brittany Mielbrook, and that brings up the leadoff hitter, Emily Weisman.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to mic a coach, that was the really good guy to do it.
He was pretty
He called
comfortable.
Brett Favre Mississippi. He couldn't remember his name.
And that's when he was on it. That's when he was on his team.
Yep.
Ground ball to second, speared by the North second baseman, but Allie Kopetsky, but she wasn't able to make a throw. So give Weisman a hit on that, I guess.
Slap, yep, a little slap ball again.
Actually, it was a great play to get to it. Andy Pigeon is up. Andy walked and scored in the first.
Here we go again. She's batting left-handed.
Weisman on first. And taking the pitch for a ball and then getting by Wordio allowed Weisman to reach second.
I'd call that a wild pitch, though.
It was in the dirt.
It was short, yeah. It was like one of my 58-foot fastballs.
But they were fast. Now batting right-handed, and then it goes foul. Tom Retzek asked me this question the other day because somebody had asked him and he wasn't real sure, and he said, you know, if you start off batting one way, can you turn around and bat the other way? And I said, I'm almost sure, I'm positive you can, because in the rule book it says as long as you're not making a travesty of it, you know, and we're seeing examples of that right here in the ball game.
And the other thing about this slap game is that you get everybody moving like a sacrifice bunt, and as you see, it throws you off a little bit on defense.
You really got to know your assignments.
It's good practice, actually. To do it in practice would be good.
Wordio making a nice scoop of that low pitch from Kayleen Dawn. And that evens the count at 2-2.
Now we're right in a situation where, as we said last year, to slow Kayleen down just a little bit.
Base hit through. Throw comes in, but that's maybe not a greatest play because it allowed Pigeon, who singled, to run down to second base, and now South has runners on second and third. Weisman on third, Pigeon on second.
Yeah, we didn't have anyone cutting the throw up ahead of home.
And give Pigeon credit, that's smart base running. She recognized the situation.
They're very active on the bases.
Erica Gustafson is up. She bounced back to the mound her first time up. Slaps one on the ground to second. Kopetsky's throw over to Fabian is in time for the out, but South has another run. Well, the way Pigeon is throwing, Coach, it's going to be a tough hill. That brings up Chandra Warren. Warren was an important hitter in that first inning, Coach. She hit the ball and reached on an error. That allowed Andy Pigeon to score the first run of the game.
Yeah, and she had the play of the game in the field thus far, easily.
Oh, yeah, a great running catch in center field.
Kayleen throws a lot of pitches high and outside, which is just an interesting thing.
So that would be a release factor then, I think.
She's got a great changeup, really a great changeup.
Oh,
that was a great example right there, yep. You don't see many pitches go up and away like that. It's got movement on it, too.
Pitch rides down and in. One of the rare times we've seen a pitch of that nature from Chandra. She's usually, like Coach said, thrown up and out. Pigeon on third, 2 outs. And good selection by Chandra Warren. She works the walk. That puts runners on at first and third for South. And trying to take an advantage. You don't see that very often. She just kept running after the walk, but South was heads up and threw her out or pardon me, North was heads up and threw her out at second base. Boy, oh boy. Interesting play. Well, at the end of 3 complete, South on top, 2-0.
What's up, baby? Wanna learn some history? Check it out. Your GED right here, guaranteed, man.
The National Center for Family Literacy.
Yo, I got your arithmetic right here.
Because you can't get your GED on the street. Call 1-877-FAMLIT1 for info on free family learning classes.
Or what was it?
15-14.
Would you start out with a 7 spot or 8 spot?
North was down after half inning, 1-0, and then they put on an 8 spot. And Valders, to their credit, never gave up. They battled back. Actually had a 10-8 lead in the through the 5.5, and then in the bottom of the 6th, North put an 8 spot on the board and held on to win. I'm talking about the North Valders game at Fox's Stadium.
I think it's great that they get an opportunity to play up there, and obviously it's just as much of a thrill to go up there and umpire.
Oh yeah, for sure. Line drive out to right field. Right fielder's not going to get that one. It's going to be extra bases. And steaming into second base is Paula Oleg with a double.
Ball was well hit, and they had her played well, but she just hit it over the right fielder's head.
Oleg was hitting .326 coming into tonight, and for Paula, that's her 7th double of the season, Coach.
And she's going to have a courtesy runner now, which I can't tell you because that girl has a sweatshirt on.
I think, judging from who's over here by the bench, I think that might be Laura Burr. Laura had her yellow sweatshirt on.
I think Howard Grove is going to play down at Miller Park this year against
oh, really?
Maybe Random Lake in one of their games.
Kenny LaCroix, our home plate umpire tonight, he and Herb Rordink did one of those high school games at Miller Park last year. Line drive out to left field, but coming on and making a nice running catch off the Dawn hit was Nicole Spiesla. 1 out for North. That brings up Heather Bacon. Bacon singled back in the 2nd inning.
Seem to be a little more aggressive now than they were the first time around as far as not taking.
Then they're starting to catch up with her pitches so far. Whoop, there goes the stats. Just be careful, Coach, you're connected here. Good stop by Mulebrook. There you see Laura Burr on second base. Pinch running for Oleg. Bacon is the right fielder for North. She takes a pitch for a ball. To 2-0, and the rain has come back.
Yeah, that's encouraging.
Especially for the announcers. Well, you got the right getup. Andy sits there, he's got nothing but a sweatshirt on, although he did put his hood up. That's a little unusual for Andy.
That means it's really bad out.
Yeah, really.
Actually, it's not real windy. That's I probably shouldn't say that, but
it is really cold
because our house didn't blow away yet today.
Check swing, pop up to the second baseman. Gare makes the catch. That's 2 outs. Brings up Mel Bogenschutz. Bogey was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd. Make that bogey.
Sounds like my golf game.
Yeah, really. I wish I got bogeys. You know, bogey golf is pretty doggone good, Coach.
Yep. Don't ever disrespect the bogey.
Really. They had a good shot of Laura Burr out at second base, pinch running. That one's going to come near us, Coach. Fabian not able to make the play in foul territory.
Next year I'm going to bring my dip net along with me.
You and Harry Carey.
Yep.
I'll tell you, the guys that are most happy today at the ball game are Andy and Brian. because usually they're the ones that are out in the elements and the announcers are in the booth, and tonight we're out in the elements right with them, and they're in their glory. Brian waving over to us. Line drive up.
Spin on that ball. Oh,
Gare
hit it right off the end of the bat.
Yeah, and Gare making a nice pickup, throws out the runner, and that ends the inning for North. They threatened but couldn't get a run across at the end of 3.5, South 2, North nothing.
Divide.
Get out of the wetness. We need that.
Between those who have the power of information and those who don't. In AmeriCorps, we're working to bridge that gap so that all of us can get to a better place. We're going around the world, on the web. In AmeriCorps, it's not can you make a difference, it's where. It's your world. It's your chance to make it better.
Having twins can be a handful.
Buy one, get one free.
So when I decided to go back to school, I needed to find one that fit our lifestyle. Lakeland College was the perfect place. They offer an easy-to-manage schedule and counselors to help me anytime. Evening classes at Lakeland don't tie our life in knots.
Ever consider a double major?
Well, they got a pretty good seat, Coach, underneath the trees. Of course, no lightning, so you don't have to worry about that. And they're all bundled up.
They look real comfortable, don't they?
They do?
Yeah.
That's a sleeping bag she's wrapped up in.
Not a bad idea.
No. Well, you got to be kind of warm, though.
Oh, I'm good. It's like going to Manitowoc for a track meet. It never is warm there.
Oh, gosh. You know, another place where it's really cold to always play is Two Rivers.
Yep.
That old ballpark.
We went to Ron Cali one time when I was coaching the North girls, and I jumped off the bus first, and then I jumped back on and said, hurry up and warm up, ladies.
I'll be out in a minute.
Yeah, you don't realize it sticks that much further out in the lake, but it does.
Kayleen Dawn on the mound for North. That pitch rides up and out of the zone. Chelsea Archer is up. She grounded the shorter first time. So strike. And that's ball 4. Not a good way to start the inning. Already down 2-0. North needs to record outs. Crystal Crowns is up. Crowns hit a line drive that was caught by the third baseman earlier. Bunt back, swinging bunt, I guess. That goes a sacrifice?
Well, it's interesting whether or not you should view those as a sacrifice or not.
We just mark it a 1-3 and let somebody else worry about it.
Yeah, because it's pretty much a swing, even though it obviously got the same results.
A pitch by Dawn is right in the strike zone. Nicole Spiesel up. She reached on an error back in the second. That pitch is high and out of the zone. So one out in the bottom of the fourth. South on top, 2-0. I'm Mike Martin. My partner is my former teacher and coach, Bill Richards, and present Fox River Valley Conference Commissioner. Hey, Coach, when they play games, like let's say tonight's game or, you know, around the conference, maybe up in Green Bay, do they have to call you and let you know results or send it in somehow after each game?
I just get it online from the newspapers. They call the newspapers, and essentially the Press Gazette is...
like they had the main paper?
Kind of right as a coordinator, but they're all owned by Gannett, so hopefully once in a while when we have a north-south thing, it doesn't get to Green Bay.
Right. Pop up to center field. Making the catch for North was Shasky. And that brings up Liz Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer was a strikeout victim back in the second. A little tapper to second base. Kopetsky over to Fabian for the out, and South got a leadoff walk, Coach, but wasn't able to get the run in.
Kayleen got the ball over the plate, and I think there's a real key thing with Kayleen is the tempo, time between pitches. I know I harped on it last year, but I think it's true with her.
Well, there you see it at the end of 4 complete. South up 2-0.
I'm a sophomore in college this year. Man, if you had known me when I was a sophomore in high school, nobody could tell me anything. I gave all my teachers a bad time. They all gave up on me, except my English teacher.
8 years teaching high school English, 10 years in recovery for alcohol addiction.
To be or not to be?
I got help.
That's it right there.
When you get help, who knows just who you'll help along the way.
For drug and alcohol information and treatment referral for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
I'm open! Shoot it, Cassie! Shoot it!
There's a better way to have fun with history.
It's okay, Amelia.
Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
On 3. 1.
You're hurt. Back at South High, leading off the top of the 5th for North is Lakin Ordio, and her first swing is a pop-up in foul territory, and a nice catch made right near the screen. Liz Pfeiffer putting it away for out number 1. That brings up Allie Kopetsky, the second baseman. Line drive, base hit to center field. Kopetsky rounding first. She's going to go to second and is in sliding with a double.
Hit that ball hard. Again, 2 pitches, and you know, they're swinging at both of them.
That's 3 hits for North. And 2 of them for extra bases. Amanda Fabian up. Amanda hit one right back at Pigeon, but it tipped off her glove over to Augustuson, and then Fabian was thrown out at first by Erica. Great start again for North.
Now that's unusual.
Yeah, really. That was a wild pitch that time. That was really wild. 1 out, runner on third. Real important for Fabian to make contact, force South to make a play. It's 2-0.
Yeah, you want to get on the board.
Yeah, exactly. Huge difference, you know, in a game like this being 2 runs down versus only 1 run down.
And I could see her slapping the ball to the right side if she had an opportunity.
Pigeon, quick throw over to third, but Kopetsky was on the bag. Keith Bartholomew's over there coaching. Fabian trying to bunt it, fouled it back.
Squeeze.
Yeah. A good time to call that play, I think.
Yep.
She still has 1 strike to work with. Fabian just got a piece of it. Millbrook not able to hang on. Boy, we had a great look at that one, huh, Coach?
I guess. It was right in our living room.
Really, you can crawl out from underneath the table now. Bouncing ball down the first base line is foul. But that's the kind of thing you'd want to do, hit it over to the right side.
Yep. Choke up just a little bit maybe, just to make sure you make contact.
Another
She's
pitch.
hanging.
Yeah, another pitch fouled off. Fabian doing a good job hanging in there. By the way, Coach, I think we're doing a great job of hanging in there, too.
You bet. It takes, I don't know about my insurance company, but a little bit extra on that one, and right on the knees again for Andy.
Yeah, that was a great location for that pitch.
Clutch pitch, yep. Clutch pitch.
7 strikeouts now for Pigeon. No walks. Line drive up the middle, through for a base hit. And coming in the score was Kopetsky. Jenya Shasky with that RBI single, and North is on the board. Well, that was clutch, Coach.
Yeah, that's key. That's key.
And now we're seeing, I think this is the first time we've seen Klein hitting from the left side. Bunting it, but Pigeon, good fielding position, Coach.
She's excellent. I bet she'd be a great track athlete. She has your 20-yard quickness.
Well,
I always said no one could beat you in a 20-yard race.
Even Coach Cox said I was pretty quick. But at the end of 4.5 innings of play, it's South 2, North 1.
Noise. There's more of it in your life than you think. Everyday sounds, from household appliances to traffic. Even a crowded restaurant can hit 85 decibels. That's the level audiologists know can cause permanent hearing loss. So keep an eye on your ears and visit ASHA.org, the American Speech Language Hearing Association.
Like football and basketball on the North football and all that kind of stuff, and he found some real interesting information, years ago with, they got all that on microfilm in the library, and he said, "Geez, Mike, I never knew you were that good." And I said, "Well, I wasn't."
Film lies.
Really? Just because it's in the paper doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
Yeah, it was really a great honor for me to be able to do that Hall of Fame induction with John Kane. We had a real nice interview and a little ceremony at the end, and boy, that was a real nice thing. I enjoyed doing that, and I know obviously John
he's
was really honored.
Very, very gifted, but a great competitor.
The other thing that was kind of interesting in talking with them, I figured, last time Wisconsin was at the Rose Bowl, him being a Wisconsin guy, he'd probably be pulling for Wisconsin, versus his alma mater. But he said, "No way, I never liked Wisconsin football. He didn't even give me a look when I was coming out of high school."
Well, he'd have probably wanted the Stanford band to be better than the Badger band. They were kind of pretty wild.
That was pretty, we were at that game. That was something.
I was too.
Bouncing ball past Kayleen Dawn.
1-6-3, 2 of them tonight.
And Klein with a great play at short. And that retires Brittany Millbrook. 1-6-3. Emily Weisman up. Weisman is 1 for 2 with a run scored.
She'll be slapping at it.
That was a little slap, but couldn't quite catch up with Dawn's fastball. There's one, but it goes right to Dawn. She boots it, picks it up, and off the mitt of Fabian. We'll have to give Dawn, I guess, the air on that.
I think she probably had to stretch quite a bit for it. I wonder if you slap a lot, how that affects you losing your natural swing.
Oh, yeah.
The fact you got your weight on your front foot. And,
if you're a right-handed batter and you're turning around left-handed to slap it, maybe not quite as much.
Right, you're correct. If that's not your chief side of the plate, it's such an overwhelming game pitching-wise, and even girls' college fast pitch is even more so with that Kat Osterman and those kids. I mean, you get one run in those games, you feel fortunate.
Kat Osterman obviously is a little bit quicker than what we're seeing today.
Yeah. Plus, she's left-handed.
Weisman stole second in a bouncing ball. It's a fair ball, and throwing out Pigeon was the North High third baseman, Sammy Kopetsky. But on the play, Emily Weisman goes to third, but there are 2 outs, Coach. Erica Gustafson in a great RBI situation.
That was an interesting play there. It was right on the line.
Yeah. It's one of those things, though, you know, you're in so far, you can't hardly not pick it up.
You have
in a
to.
way.
You have to.
You got to make a play on it.
It's a reaction. It's a reaction thing anyway. And with 1 out, why would you not want to?
Bouncing ball to third. That one's foul, just barely. Kenny LaCroix right on that play. Oh, I don't remember Ken doing a lot of softball years ago. I know over the last...
Yeah, he primarily was a baseball guy when I got involved.
I tell you, when you get great pitching like we've had this afternoon, it's a nice game to, to umpire.
Yep. I think you can do a better job when the game moves along.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, I think you get a rhythm just like the players do.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I agree with you 100%.
Almost the same place. Just a little high and away.
South on top, 2-1. They're looking to add to that 1-run lead.
Yeah.
And Dawn with that change of pace. Got it in the strike zone. And not a good swing by Gustafson that time. She goes down on strikes.
Well, that changeup really set her up for the fastball.
Yeah,
instead of the other way around.
Yeah, really. Well, at the end of 5 complete, it's South 2, North 1.
This is Dale Meyer. Join us each week on Main Street, where we discuss topics and issues that impact your life.
If you go into a relationship looking for that person to make you whole, you're doomed.
We all have a purpose here, and we all have a passion. If you don't know what it is, you need to keep searching until you find it.
Well, you can quit, but you can only quit once. Once you quit, it's over with, but you can keep trying forever.
Join us next time on Main Street.
There's a new experience around every corner as you discover Wisconsin. Discover Wisconsin like you've never seen before.
Getting ready to lead off the top of the 6th is Paula Oleg. Oleg doubled her last time up.
She was on that one too.
Yeah, she's a good hitter.
Just missed it.
Coming into today's game, Paula was hitting .326, and that's up a little bit. She also came into the game with 6 doubles. Now she has 7. Picked a bad pitch to hit there, a little up in the zone.
Likes to hit the ball straight away and has good power.
Taking a look here, she has drawn 3 walks, but that's in 15 games. That's not very much.
No. You say Andy doesn't have a base on balls?
None today, so probably a good thing to be swinging. Yeah. Kayleen Dawn is up, and a great diving catch by Ashley Gare for the 2nd out. I was just going to mention that Kayleen flew out the center when Warren made that great running catch, and then she had
she hit the ball well the last time.
Fly ball out to left that the left fielder ran in and made a nice basket catch. And now this one, so Kayleen has been snake bit. She walks by, puts her helmet away, shaking her head. What do I have to do?
She's a terrific competitor. We were at the Brewer game Monday night, and J.J. Hardy had a great at-bat every time up, you know, and he's struggling.
Yeah.
He had warning track power a couple times and line drives.
No, he's the kind of guy, you know, you think back and don't want to compare him with Robin Yount, but, you know, Robin had those same kind of struggles too, you know, and you just got to give a guy time, let him adjust to the competition.
Right, I don't think anyone thought that Robin would develop into a medium power hitter.
Yeah. And
JJ is, what, 20 or 21, and he's going to put on weight. He's really, really skinny.
Yeah, and fill out.
Yeah.
Well, that swing by Bacon was Got a pitch out of the zone. Heather is 1 for 2. There's 2 outs. We're in the top of the 6th in a very speedily played baseball game, softball game.
And I know 2 people that aren't disappointed about the speed of the game.
And they're both left-handed. A good check of the swing by Bacon, and
she had a base hit the first time up.
Yep, back in the 2nd inning. That pitch right there for strike 3. And that's the end of the inning. At the end of 5.5, South 2, North 1.
Andy Pigeon was 10 strides toward the dugout.
Feeling motivated to lose weight? Considering a high-protein diet, like those meat-heavy diets you've read about? First, you should know there are health risks, like osteoporosis and kidney disorders, and maybe even colon cancer. Before you start a fad diet, think. You've got more to lose than weight. To learn more, visit www.safediets.org, a project of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine.
Not during a commercial either.
There's a great shot of the
That's a long poke out there.
Yeah, really.
That's about 3 9-irons.
Red Wing football field. It's going to have a whole different look, Coach, a year or so from now, with the addition of the field house, and of course North is going to be getting theirs. And they're just starting construction of Jefferson Elementary.
And Cooper's well along, right?
Yep, and James Madison has some construction going on, and Farnsworth, and there's one other one that has some construction. A lot of projects going on throughout the district.
Yeah, well, I was really impressed with, 62 or 63% positive in that referendum. I mean, that says a lot about the people of Sheboygan.
It does, and it's really a great thing. It shows how Sheboygan is willing to support, meaningful endeavors like education. You get a good shot of Kayleen Dawn. Her first pitch is low to Chandra Warren. Warren has reached 2 times, Coach. She reached on an error and walked.
Yep, she's pesky.
Takes that pitch down low for a ball. It's 2-0. Another pitch down low. Now, earlier in the game, she seemed to be up and out, and
yeah, if she's wild, she's usually wild high.
And that's ball 4.
Yeah, we'll go to slapping again here.
Chelsea Archer coming up next. Chelsea playing third base. She grounded to short back in the 1st and walked in the 4th, and spanks one foul there. Oh, a lot of sniffling and coughing between you and me. It said something about the weather, doesn't it?
It's a good day for that, yeah. It's like an ad for Sudafed or something.
Really. Fly ball out to left center field. Nobody's going to get that. Shasky, we can tell that she's got number 1 on. Great shot there by Brian Andrews as Chasky runs it in, and it's a 2-base hit for Archer. And South is in business, Coach, with runners on 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. You're right. And Crown's up.
Yeah, and she always gets the bat on the ball, and we'll see if she bats right or left-handed here.
Yeah, really. Keith Bartholomew's coming out.
Both.
Really. Although I believe both times that she finally did hit the ball, she was batting right-handed. Well, as a coach, how do you play this? Down 2-1 late in the game, you got to play your infield in?
Well, you want to walk one and load them up, or do you maybe don't take a chance with Kayleen's control, erratic?
Yeah.
Maybe try one and then walk the batter.
Then walk after you get 1 out?
Yeah, could do that too. I mean, you might as well get beat 8-1 as 3-1. Maybe you have to look at it that way. Do something to keep them in right at 3.
Well, let's see what
I definitely would try to pitch her inside. See where the shortstop is pretty deep.
And so is, well, the first baseman's way up. Second baseman is back. Looks like the middle of the infield is back. You're right, Coach.
She just fouled off an intentional ball.
Well, they're going to walk crowns and load the bases and then hope for the best.
Well, I'll tell you, that ball wasn't very far outside.
No. Roberto Clemente might have been swinging at some of those. Crowns not very happy about being walked either.
You remember Steve Bilko? Old Chicago, he played with the Cubs for a while, big lumbering first baseman. He stepped over somewhat illegally one day and hit a double or a triple when they were trying to walk it.
Well, the bases are loaded for South. There's nobody out. Stepping up is Nicole Spiesla. Nicole is hitting 192. And believe it or not, that's one of the better batting averages. Line drive should have been caught, wasn't, but North is going to get a force out, but South will score another run. Well, Kopetsky had an excellent opportunity to catch that ball, but couldn't quite hang on, and that cost him a run. Liz Pfeiffer's up next.
Oh, we're going to maybe make a change here with Coach Pigeon. We're going to get a different runner at first, maybe.
Coming out to run is, you know, and I wrote these names down somewhere, Coach. Now I can't find them. Who that substitute is. I don't think they have numbers on that sheet.
No. So we've got first and third and one out, 4-1.
Pfeiffer is up. Ground ball right to third. Kopetsky couldn't make the play. And Klein holds on to it, and a run scores. Pfeiffer's going to reach.
Surprised she didn't throw it.
Yeah, she had a chance.
If she'd have thrown it the first time before the double clutch, she might have had a play on her. 5-1, right?
4-1.
No, they got two this inning.
Yep, and they had two coming in, Coach.
Oh, they only had two, yeah. Okay.
I don't mean to
no, that's
talk
good.
against my elders. You are quite a bit older than me, aren't you? Ground ball to short. Klein goes to third for the force out. Nice play by Amy Klein.
Yeah, that's big to keep it right there.
Keep that runner off of third. Emily Weisman is going to hit next for South.
Emily's a pesky hitter, too.
Oh, here's what I did. I put down the North High substitutes on their sheet. I forgot to do it for the South High kids.
Yeah, we have another pinch runner at first.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I thought at first was maybe they put that number 14 back to pinch run for the catcher next.
Good pitch by Kayleen. She needs to get out of this. I'd be ready at short.
Good diving stop by Kayleen and fires over to Fabian for out number 3. But South comes up with 2 more runs, and that makes it entering the top of the 7th, 4-1. South on top, and big hill to climb for the Raiders.
The moment when it first hit me, I thought, wow, this concept might change the way we get from point A to point B. I felt like Einstein inventing the telephone.
What does this mean, Doctor?
Will it change life as we know it?
Is your discovery for sale?
Where'd you get the idea?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I give you the human foot.
The man who's putting us in touch with our feet.
The foot, well, when used with another foot, creates a single passenger transportation system of amazing efficiency.
And since your feet are connected to the rest of you, walking not only gets you someplace.
This is on a straightaway. Look at that. Cornering. Walking helps keep your bones and joints stronger, longer.
Get up, get out, get moving. A public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Back at South High, and last opportunity for the Raiders. They trail at 4-1. Leading off the inning for North will be Mel Bogenschutz. Bogey is 0 for 2. Pops it straight up, and making a nice catch was Mielbrook for out number 1.
Well, another fine play. She's really been impressive. I'm sure she caught for the JVs last year, but first year of varsity catching, handling a quality pitcher is not necessarily easy.
No. And that brings up Lakin Wordio. Lakin is 0 for 2. Cold, cloudy, and rainy afternoon.
Otherwise, perfect weather, Marty.
Really?
You'd make a good weatherman. You see something positive about today.
I've got something for the obvious, too. I can really focus in on that. Pop up on the infield. Coming in and dropping the ball was the first baseman.
And it is a first baseman's ball. I know the catcher wanted it, but...
Liz Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
You see this all the time on TV. You know, they go after everything with one hand. You know, you really like to see them get up there with two hands and make a two-handed catch. But Wordio reaches on an E3.
Yeah, almost a last-minute lunge. That's
well, what kept me up there was something in, like, there was some trouble because the three of them were kind of looking at each other.
Yeah,
Who's gonna
I
make
think
the
that
play.
was part of it. You know, it was equal opportunity.
Strike. Ali Kopetsky scored back in the 5th. She's got North's only run. She doubled that inning to get the rally going.
So what will be Marquette's nickname next week and the week after?
Yeah, really. Who knows? Be interesting what they come up with. The one thing with the Marquette Gold, though, they didn't make anybody happy, so they're, you know.
Well, that's true. They can only get more popular with the community.
And a called strike on Kopetsky, and that leaves North 1 out to keep the rally alive. They're down 4-1. A very important game for South to stay only 1 game back. Hopefully that Manitowoc will get a loss and they'll be tied for first. Amanda Fabian is up. Amanda's 0 for 2, hit the ball hard back in the 2nd and was called out on strikes in the 5th. Follow straight back over our head, not a play.
It's not unusual to have something go over our head.
Jokes are the usual thing that go over my head. I don't get it. Swing and a miss by Fabian, and that's strike 3, and that's the ball game. South wins it by a score of 4-1 in what was an extremely quick ball game, but very interesting, Coach.
Yeah, again, and North plays everyone so tough, and how this is going to pan out for them in next year and the year after. Yeah, 2 hits, 3 or 4 outstanding defensive plays by South, and you know, they're in the game, but they don't get a W for it. Again, South played the way they need to play to win, and maybe a little bit better execution at times, and some good base running. That's the difference.
Well, I think you made a good point in the opening. You said North is learning how to win, and you can only learn to win by winning. South is already there, and you could see it in the game tonight.
Yeah, they're very confident, and they play very aggressively, and what they have to do is playing small ball. They're doing, and they're doing it correctly.
Well, for the ball game, Andy Pigeon was the star of the game. She had 10 strikeouts, no walks, allowed only, I think I've got him down for 3 hits, Coach, but in either case, it certainly wasn't very many. Offensively, South was led by Emily Weisman, who had a base hit, and Andy Pigeon had a hit and scored a run, and she was really everything tonight. That's going to do it for our broadcast. Bill, I want to thank you for stopping over. It was really a terrible night. We certainly weren't expecting this when we originally set this up, but a great game. I want to thank all our fans for watching. We have one more baseball game coming up, Coach. We're going to do a North against Manitowoc, which could be huge. I think it's that last game of the conference season.
Should be excellent.
People want to watch for that. That's going to be taped on May 24th. Recommend everybody go down there and watch the game. But that's it here tonight. A great job by the crew. I know they're real happy we got to sit out in the weather with them, and actually it wasn't all that bad. It's getting kind of warm now that we're used to the elements.
It was a great game, and thanks, Marty.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you down the road, everybody. Thanks for watching. Again, one more time, Sheboygan South wins it by a score of 4-1.